Hi everybody, this is Debbie from twoshabbysisterstudio.ning.com, and we are a swapping site of crafts, and I have a new one that a new swap that we're going to be doing, and I was just going to show you a couple ways to do them and a couple of techniques that you probably haven't done for a little while that you might want to revisit in any project that you're doing. It's a lot of fun, and it puts layers on there and more interest in your projects. Sometimes we buy things to put on and we forget about the techniques that we've learned along the way. So this is just getting back to a couple of them. The swap is going to be inchies, and they're little pieces of chipboard that I have just painted with gesso to pre-treat it to take different mediums that I want to put on it. And so I just did a whole chipboard, put gesso on it, and then cut them into 1-inch squares. And the result is, after I'm done, is, I hope you can see that, a little inch of an art of mixed media. There's the butterfly. This one's a favorite of mine. It's a little game piece on a piece of cardstock with a little ribbon around it. This is a favorite of mine. It's a little epoxy with vintage picture of a man and a woman on a painted background. This is a little owl, and with the crackle, and we're going to do a crackle, kind of revisit that with the little owl. And this is a flower, and I put wax on the flower, and why I like that is it makes the colors richer and more vibrant and thicker, more substance to it. And you can do this on any picture, leaves, they look great on. It just gives it a vintagey look. So we're going to do that too. So the swap is going to be that you make 3 inchies per person that's in your group, and send them in to me, and then I will swap them out and send them to you. And what we're going to do with these inchies is all of us is going to get a 8x8 or 10x10 canvas, and we're going to decorate the canvas, and that can be a video too. And with mixed media, paints and crackle and maybe some masking on it, just to make more interest. I don't have my canvas right now, but pretend this was a canvas, and what we would do is just start putting them on, pasting them on from each one that each person that we get 3 from. We will just fill up the canvas. I think I'm going to leave a space in between mine to see the different mixed media that I'm going to put on my canvas, just to give it more points of interest. I could even separate these. It's up to you. Kind of play around with that. And then fill up the canvas with our inchies. There is all kinds of things that you can use for these inchies. This is just a piece of scrap paper that we have, that all of us have, and I just cut it. Excuse my fingers, I was painting. I just cut it to fit the inchie, and that could be an inchie by itself with a nice piece of paper on it. Or you could go ahead and put an object on there. I used acrylic paint. I like this acrylic paint myself. It goes on. It's richer, it's thicker. It's the same thing that comes in the bottles. It's a better quality. I like it. I got a whole box full of 36 colors from Amazon for $36. It was really reasonable, and it'll last me a long time, and like I said, 36 colors. I prefer that, but I do use the acrylic too, so it's whatever you want to use on it. On this, I just painted it blue, a couple coats of blue, and I'm going to put this button on there with a bow, and that's an inchy. And I better turn on my glue gun. Okay, so that would be a different inchy right there. On this one right here, I painted yellow, and I'm going to use crackle on this. So I put on one coat of yellow, and if you remember, you can have crackle medium, or you can just use Elmer's glue, and that's what I use. Matter of fact, I'm using the gel, and it works perfect. So I'm just going to put on some gel glue on there. Yeah, right, I am. I'll just put my paintbrush in there. I actually wanted to do this on a paper towel. So I don't get it on my new mat that costs $30. It's kind of mat that stays down, that doesn't wrinkle in the corner. And it's awesome. It's $30 though, but it's bigger size than what you can get in like a Ranger or whatever. And I got that from Score Pal. So if you're buying any score tape from them, which I usually do, take a look at that. It's an awesome mat. I hated when I would cut up, which I have done the other one, or it starts curling on the edges. Okay, I put my glue on, and I am also going in one direction. I'm not going back and forth because it just won't crack that way. You have to go in one direction, and whatever direction that you are painting on is what direction it's going to crack. And you want to wait for it to get tacky, so I'm just going to wait for a few seconds. Kind of get my brush clean. I remember we used to crackle everything when that technique came out. It's so pretty on frames. I saw a frame, somebody, I wish I knew who did it, on Two Shabby Sisters in our frame swap, and it was gorgeous. It was just vintage looking, and that's my style. Okay, I'm going to take my tweezers here that are on steroids. That comes in real handy. And I'm going to dry this a little bit. Not too much. We want it tacky. And then I'm going to put red over the top of it. And again, going in the same direction. And you don't want to keep going over and over the same place. A little bit is okay, but not over and over. And like I said, see how rich and vibrant this paint is? It's so much, it's a better quality than your acrylic. All these different kinds, but much better. I hope you can see that. Okay, now I'm going to take and I am going to dry this a little bit. go. All crackled. Really nice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the flower on that. Right down in the middle of it. I should have used the Distress ink. And something about the Distress ink is when I go to match a color, like if I wanted to use on these, I picked the color that I wanted to use on the side. And to tell what color, I made these little swatches from all the Distress inks of Tim Holtz. And on the bottom is, well, on the top is the color, pure color of the Distress ink. And on the bottom, I dipped it in clear embossing powder and just embossed it to see the color that it would have with the embossing powder. But I have made one for each of the colors that I have, and I do have them all. So all I need to do is when I go to match a color is to take it and match up what color goes best. And actually, Aged Mahogany was better than what I used, but I didn't go that far. But it is so much easier with this little cheat tags here. And I just keep it with all my pads, and it works great. So I'm going to see if I can just take a little bit of this. And put it around. Actually, I think I need a darker color. This is brushed corduroy, and I don't think it's dark enough. It is so fun to do different techniques on these little inchies, and they don't take long at all. I mean, you just go through your stash and you see what you can use. Now I want to show you what I mean about melting wax on it. And this is the beeswax. And if you want to try this technique and don't have any beeswax, our store at Two Shabby Sister Studio is going to be opening up in February, and we can get these things for you. All you have to do is just give a holler out and say that you need some, and we will get any product in the store that we possibly can. I started using this technique of the wax on a picture, and I wish I had it. It was so pretty. It looks so vintage. All you do, let me get single ones here, is place them in between the petals. Only do a couple at a time because they'll fall out. Like so. And then, excuse my heat gun. Let me use my Monstrocerous. Is melt them. I have a melting pot, and I could have melted them in the melting pot and then dipped it in there, but I'm only doing so few of them that it just saves on the beeswax, and I don't have that big of a mess. So we're going to make a video on using the melting pot and different things you can use in that, or the different techniques to do in that, and what the product turns out to be. So it's melting. Doesn't take that long. Let me stick a couple more in there. Oop, these are melting. I love the vintage look that it gives. the flower or a picture. Leaves are gorgeous. I hope the members, and if you haven't joined, I hope you do join, come by and see what we're about. Tries this inchy swap. I think it'll be fun, and I think the result of having the canvas with the inchies on it will be something you can hang up in your craft room. Sometimes you don't know what to do with some of the crafts that you get. And that's it. It's just more vibrant and deep. It dries really quickly. Very pretty. Very pretty. I love it. Okay, let me clean some of this up. You can also take one of your little inchies here and put some tape on it, which happens to be just an inch. This is score tape. I love it. Press it on there. Peel it off. And I'm going to put some glitter on it. And you know, glitter really doesn't react until you burnish it. And you just do that with your finger. Boop. Set that aside. Another little cool tool are these. A little rag to dab up all the glitter or embossing powder. It just is like a magnet, and I've never seen anything else like it. Good thing to have, and I cut it in pieces. It lasts a long time. It's very inexpensive. All the fun little tools. Okay, on this, you could even leave it alone, or we're going to stamp on it. Now, they make inchy stamps, and this would be a great thing to use these inchy stamps for. You could put different colors on and stamp your stamp on it. Leave it like that, or emboss it. That would be pretty. I'm going to put a small stamp that I have, and I do it in Memento ink because I'm going to color it with Copics. And then put my butterfly on there. Whoop, and then you can use any alcohol ink you want on this. It looks really good with the glitter. I should have gotten black so I could make the body. But I didn't. You'll just get the gist of it. Heck, I have black and I want to finish it, so hold on just a second. There you go. Really easy. You could do that with so many stamps. You could put some bling on the bottom. And there's another inchie. Okay, so I showed you different ways to make inchies today, and the different things that you can put on them. They are fun to make and very quick, and it's using your imagination on this 1-inch square piece of paper, cardstock, as your canvas. I hope you tried the swap at Two Shabby Sisters Studio, and meet us over there. We are a friendly bunch, and we do like to chat and love to have new people and love to have you join. Please stop by and see it, and we will have another video on the canvas that we're going to be using. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.